welcome everyone. So we are joined here with Haley Dix from the Student Experience Office. So she's going to share how you folks can get involved with the Student Experience Office. Super cool fact about the Student Experience Office, just like Munsu, who we heard from earlier, they also oversee the SVB. So Haley and her team are part of the reason why we are able to come here today and do this, and why the Student Volunteer Bureau exists. So yeah, without further ado, Haley, I'll let you get started. And folks, if you have any questions as we go through today, be sure to put them in the chat or the Q&A section, and I'm sure Haley would be happy to address them at the end. So Haley, you can go ahead.
Great, thank you, Lindsay. You can hear me okay?
Absolutely.
All right, great. So as Lindsay said, I'm Haley. I work in the Student Experience Office as the Student Leadership Development Coordinator. I'm new to the position, so we're going to kind of go through a couple slides just to make sure I cover everything because our office covers a lot of things. So we'll kind of go through them all and what you can do to get involved in each of them. And yeah, like Lindsay said, if you have any questions, put them in the chat. I'm more than willing to answer them. So our office kind of has three different branches. We tend to do new student experience, leadership, and community engagement, and we have lots of programs in each of those. So first, well, here's one slide of all the things that we do. We have the MUN Ambassadors program. So that's a program that senior students can apply for on our website. And basically, it's just an opportunity to network, to be in a leadership position. So often they're involved in more formal settings such as matriculation or things like that. So matriculation is like the opposite of convocation. It's like your entrance into university. So they take part in that. They currently, in our remote setting, are hosting what we have, the Launch Forth Leadership Series, where we interview leaders from our community and from our university community as well. We had the president, Dr. Vian Timmons, as our first guest on that. So they get to host and interview on that. And they also get to host the Ask Me Live studio, which I'm not sure if anybody knows about that, but we have been hosting it all summer, and it's kind of just an opportunity for new students or existing students to ask some questions if they have any. So those are kind of just some examples of what our MUN ambassadors do. We do recruit for that once per year, so it's kind of a yearly program, and they have summer, fall, and winter training. And like I said, they just get to meet a lot of cool people and people in really high up leadership positions. So it's a great networking opportunity. The operation leads is another group of students. They help, they usually help with fall welcome and winter welcome. But this year they kind of had a very broad task list. So they did help with our fall welcome, our virtual fall welcome, but they also helped with MUN 101, which is kind of like an online orientation for new students, and the peer network. So they have kind of been with us all summer, and it's just a really great opportunity to gain leadership skills. You do some professional development and things like that. So that's usually a program that is over the summer, and then we do have like a shorter, more condensed program right before winter semester. And then peer network is new now. It's kind of been my major focus since starting this position. So this picture here is of some of our mentors. They're all senior students that have taken on a group of new students that they've been mentoring and kind of helping ask questions. So they've been meeting with them once per week. And it's been a really fantastic opportunity for everybody. They kind of get to socialize, which is honestly a big part of this remote environment. It's hard to kind of talk to people. So that's a great way to do it, and to have our new students feel like they have somebody. And we will be doing that again in the winter semester. So if you're interested in being a mentor, yeah, sign up and get started with that, because it's a great opportunity. We have the Experience Fellowship, which is like an online platform. It should be on your D2L shell. You can join it whenever you want to. And there's just lots of modules that you can go through, and it's just a really cool program, and you learn a lot from it. Make Midterm Matter. That's been going on for a long time, way before I was here. So basically, it's just an opportunity during midterm break of each semester, and you get one day to go volunteer with any of our community partners. It's changing all the time. This semester, I don't think it will be happening, or at least it's not fully decided yet. It's a little bit up in the air right now, but we're hoping to get it back on the go here soon. Coffee House Social, that's going to be a new thing. Our operation leads planned some events for our fall welcome, and one of them was a coffee house social, and it went really well in our eyes. So we're hoping to continue it throughout the fall semester. So we will be having some students working for us, looking after that coffee house social. And then we want speakers to come on and chat, whether it's students or university leaders. We need music for those. So if you're interested in any of those things, let us know. I'll have some contact information at the end. So that's going to be interesting. And if you just want to participate and get to know some of your fellow students, join on, have a chat. They're really quite fun and relaxed, and just a good way to kind of meet other students. Leadership conferences, again, this is one of those things that's happened a lot in the past. We usually had 2 per like academic year, so one in the fall, one in the winter. But this year, again, not sure if one's going to happen or not. Maybe there'll definitely be updates for this coming up. But yeah, as of right now, we're not 100% sure if we'll have a conference in the fall or the winter. But yeah, keep an eye out for them. They're pretty cool. We had Superpowers and Launch Forth as our leadership conferences last year, and they were pretty interesting. We had some keynote speakers come. So yeah, a good way to learn from other people, and also a good way to network as well. My cat's coming for a little visit. A couple more things. So our office does have MUSEPs and ISWEPs. They closed for fall last week, I think on Friday, but we will be rehiring in the wintertime, so keep an eye out for our positions. We have student liaisons, so they are front desk people, and they do tons of stuff for our office. They are invaluable. But now they kind of look after ask emails and the live chat, and they do lots of different things. We also do have a partnership with Coats for Kids, usually in the fall. I was in that position previously. It was fantastic. It's kind of up in the air this year, like many things, but it is a fantastic program. So hopefully by next fall, we'll be able to do something even more concrete, but I think there might be something in the works for Coats for Kids, so it'll be interesting. And if it is, then we will be collecting coats too, so keep an eye out for that. And then we have student experience assistants, so they tend to help with each of our little divisions, but they do lots of things for us in the office. And then we have Random Acts at Memorial. So that top picture there is our lovely Julia, who usually kind of takes charge of these ones. Random Acts is just an opportunity to listen to some music. So on campus, they're usually kind of every Monday, usually like a cafe concert. But now we kind of had like a Random Acts thing incorporated into Fall Welcome, where our students provided videos of them doing fantastic musical performances, and we uploaded them to social media. So I think there will be some sort of version of Random Acts continuing throughout the fall semester. So if you're a musical type student, this might be something that interests you. And then we do fall or welcome and orientation. So usually this is a huge event. Lindsay definitely knows. So we plan it all summer with our operation leads, and lots of other volunteers take part in it. You can see the Ask Me shirt on that bottom picture. That's what our volunteers were usually wearing, those turquoise ones or the red ones, and you'd see them all over campus all welcome week. And there were tons of volunteers, and they'd help us with matriculation. We did tons of kit stuffing. So if you were a new student and you got that little bag that had all those things in it, our volunteers stuffed all of those. They were in charge of campus tours. There's just tons of stuff that they took part in, and there was no way we could do any of it without them. Obviously, the online environment's a little bit different, but there still will be opportunities to volunteer, and one day there will be campus again, we'll be back, and we'll need tons of volunteers all over again. So definitely keep an eye out for that as well. So I've spoken to you a bunch about all the things that we do, but I just wanted to talk a little bit about my own experience. I just graduated here this year. 2020 was my graduation year. And I just want to reiterate how important getting involved in because it did so much for me. And it's all through the Student Experience Office. So I just wanted to say at first I had major imposter syndrome, or at least I thought I couldn't volunteer in my first, second, third year, even because I didn't have the skills or something. I'm not really sure where it was coming from, but I was terrified. But I joined the Operation Lead program in the fall of 2018, and that led to so many cool opportunities. We did SOAR. Did make Midterm Matter a couple times, and then I was Operation Lead again in the winter. And then I was hired as the Codes for Kids coordinator in fall of 2019. And I just loved being part of the Student Experience Office. The staff, which I am now, I guess, they're so supportive and they have your back and everything. And they have so many cool programs and opportunities. Once you kind of push yourself to get involved there, there's so many things and so many pathways that you can take. And I ended up getting this position as Student Leadership Development Coordinator this year. And I absolutely love it. So this is just proof that if you just take that first step, you never know where it'll lead, what opportunities you're going to get at the end of the day. So really just push yourself to take that first step and get involved because it can do wonders for you. And quickly, just our Facebook and Twitter. Facebook at Memorial University Students and Twitter is at mun_students. And yeah, just follow them both. You'll see all of our events there, opportunities to get involved. We post everything on there, everything. So just follow and you'll see it all. And yeah, thank you, Lindsay. ask@mun.ca is our email if you have any questions. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Haley. So we did have a couple of questions.
Yeah.
So first, when will the Student Experience Office take MUN Ambassador and Operation Lead applications?
So MUN Ambassador's applications won't come until, I believe it's going to be sometime at the end of the winter semester in there, because the next round will kind of start in summer of, it's going to be 2021. Yeah, 2021. So that's when they'll start their training again, and then that'll be the next cycle of MUN Ambassadors. So keep an eye out during the winter semester because the recruitment will probably go up then. And the other program, Operation Leads, very similar. You'll see the posters recruitment up in the winter semester because that's when the fall Operation Leads start. And then for the winter Operation Leads coming up right now, so it'll be winter 2021, we will have a small group of Operation Leads start as well, because we do hold a small welcome in the wintertime too. So you might see some of those recruitments come up at the end of the fall semester or mid-fall semester too.
Awesome. Thank you, Haley.
Yeah.
So another question, could you please explain Make Midterm Matter again with just a little more detail?
Yeah, absolutely. So Make Midterm Matter previously, so the way it kind of works is that we have a bunch of students who are team leads, and then they take on like a team of volunteers who are also students. And then in previous pre-COVID days, each team would go to a separate community partner. So it could be SPCA. What else have we done? We've done like St. Pat's, so like the nursing homes, where you could be spending the day like painting rocks with residents or just taking part in any other recreation programs. Manuel's River Interpretation Center has taken groups before where they kind of just helped clean up the trails and things like that. So each team just kind of goes to a different place. They volunteer for the day, and it's just a good opportunity to figure out maybe some volunteer opportunities that you like. So that's how it's gone previously. Like I said, we're not sure how it's going to look coming up, but hopefully we'll be able to find some sort of virtual solution.
Absolutely. Thank you, Haley. So what would you say is a general time commitment for getting involved with the Student Experience Office? So would that depend on the program folks are getting involved with, or like what would your general guesstimate be?
So yeah, it just varies depending on the program. Our operation leads met once every 2 weeks for 1 hour, and then they had to work on their tasks throughout that extra time, which probably took them 1 or 2 hours a week. So that one might be like 3 or 4 hours weekly. Ambassadors also tends to be different during training. Obviously, it takes more time per week, probably 3 hours, 4 hours a week. But then throughout the rest, it's just when events come up. So that can be scattered. Make Metro Matters just one day, so maybe like 8 hours of your time. What else? And then Welcome Week volunteers. That one used to be pretty intensive when it was actual Welcome Week. So anywhere from 2 to 10 to 15 hours a week, depending on how involved you were with that. So yeah, it depends a lot on what the program is and how involved you are in it. But there's lots of flexibility, which is kind of the nice thing about our programs.
Absolutely. And another question, is there anything that the SEO is looking for volunteers for right now?
At this very moment, we are kind of finishing up our previous programs. The Operation Lead program just finished up. Mentors are well on their way, but we will be recruiting coming up very soon. We'll be recruiting for our operation leads sometime in the fall semester. We'll be recruiting for new mentors in the fall semester. So keep an eye out for those. But at this very moment, no, we're not necessarily looking for volunteers, but we will be very soon. So just follow our social media and we'll post those recruitments up.
Awesome. Thank you, Haley. And just, I guess, another testimonial, I began volunteering with the Student Volunteer Bureau, which, as I mentioned, is overseen by the Student Experience Office. And I very quickly became involved with the Student Experience Office. And my first role there was experience designer. So actually planning Welcome Week. And that was a huge, I guess, monumental piece in my life and figuring out, who I want to be and what I want to do. And that's all because of the staff that are there, how supportive they are. Again, the programming, once you get involved, you learn so many new skills. I was very new to event planning. I hadn't planned very many large scale events. And within 4 months, I had planned and helped to execute a huge welcome week with what was supposed to be 2,000 students and 300 volunteers. So, you gain skills that you can take on then to other portions of your life. And it's just a wonderful office to get involved with. I can't say enough good things. And Haley, thank you for sharing your experiences today as well, and for being here and answering students' questions. It does look like, oh, we have another one. How do we get out of our shy/comfort zone, and how do we know if we are capable to volunteer or not? Excellent question.
That is a very good question. I'll put some input in, and maybe you can too, Lindsay, because I'm sure we've both been in that position. How do you get out of the shy comfort zone? You just have to apply. So for me, I was just terrified to do it. But then Operation Leads just sounded so good and so perfect for what I wanted that I was like, you know what? I'm just going to put in the application, but I don't have to do it. Like that's how I thought about it. So just put in the application. Don't pressure yourself too much by just doing that. And just take it one step at a time is what I do. And then your experiences, they're just going to build on each other. You're just going to get more confident as you go along. And just remember that all of these groups, offices, they're extremely supportive. They're there to help you, and they don't expect you to be a pro at anything when you're just starting. So just keep that in mind.
Absolutely. And I guess, volunteering is a great way to get out of your comfort zone. So again, when you apply for a job, there are kind of expectations that are set up for you that folks want you to have already. So they want you to have these experiences, they want you to have these skill sets. But generally, with volunteer positions, it doesn't happen that way. So, I mean, we heard from a lot of folks here today when we asked, what's involved with getting involved with your organization. A lot of folks will say, we just want you to be willing. And I think that's the cool thing about volunteering is that it does let you get out of your comfort zone. It allows you to be able to check out things that you've never kind of worked within before, whether it's event planning or a leadership development role. It could be many different things. But my suggestion, I guess, would be to keep an eye out for those small scale events. So you don't necessarily have to start out with the Operation Lead program. The step below the Operation Lead program would be just being a general volunteer for Welcome Week. So, I mean, keep an eye out for those kind of small scale, 1 weekend, 1 week long events where you can go and help to execute. And then once you feel comfortable within that, then work your way up. There is no necessary formula to volunteering, but if you're really, really nervous about putting yourself out there, keep an eye out for the small things, get used to those, and then take your step up. But again, if you also want to start with something like the Operation Lead program, then also go for it because it's a great way to learn. It's just diving in. So
Exactly. And do what you're interested in. Always choose something that you actually truly would enjoy. It's so much easier.
absolutely,
Yeah.
it's true. So yeah, so thank you, Haley, for being here today.